In a small town lost among the mountains, where at night the stars seemed almost too close, there lived a young man named Leo. He was only 20, yet weariness already lived in his eyes, the kind that appears in those who are forced to grow up too early. The town was quiet, almost forgotten by time. During the day it smelled of stone and cold wind, in the evenings of smoke rising from old chimneys. Leo dreamed of something greater, not wealth for its own sake, but a life where his family would no longer have to count every coin. He imagined himself owning restaurants, becoming someone who had managed to break free from the closed circle they lived in. But reality was harsh. His father, Mark, repaired old cars, coming home with hands soaked in oil and exhaustion. His mother, Claire, cleaned other people's houses, wiping away traces of Chujie lives just to hold their own together. And his little sister Sophie, only 10 years old, looked at Leo as if he were her only shield against the world. One cold evening, Leo sat outside their house and stared at the sky. The stars flickered, as if they knew something and chose to remain silent. "I want to give you a different life," he whispered. "But where do I start when tomorrow we might not even have enough for bread?" When he shared his thoughts with his father, Mark sighed heavily. "Remember this, son," he said. "Dreams are not free. Everything has a price. Sometimes you pay with time, sometimes with pain. Start with what you have, even if it's almost nothing." Those words stayed with Leo, and one day he noticed a quiet injustice. People in his town loved fresh bread, yet they had to travel far across the hills to buy it. That was when the idea appeared, simple, almost naive. There was only one problem: he had no money. Leo took a risk. He walked to the old bakery owned by Mr. Anderson, a stern man with eyes shadowed by years of mistrust. "I want to sell your bread in my town. I don't have money. Give me 1 week. I'll return everything and keep only a small profit." Anderson was silent for a long time, as if weighing not Leo's words, but his fate. "Why should I trust you?" "Because I won't give up, even if it hurts." That week became his first trial. Leo carried the bread by hand, woke before dawn, and smiled at every passerby as if trying to warm them with belief alone. At first, people hesitated, but the scent of warm bread did its work. By evening, everything was sold. When Anderson received his money, he only nodded. "Come back tomorrow." That was the beginning of a path where each sunrise felt heavier than the last. And yet, Leo understood something important. Labor was not punishment. It was the price of a chance. Over time, he bought a small cart. Then came a new thought: to bake the bread himself. The idea frightened him. He knew nothing about dough or fire or ovens, but inside, it felt as if the stars were whispering the same message. If you want more, you must pay with fear. Anderson taught him harshly. His hands ached, the bread failed again and again, but every mistake revealed something new. One day, he wanted to quit, but he remembered his father's words and stayed. When he finally baked a perfect loaf, something shifted. It felt as though an invisible door had opened. He baked through the nights. His family helped, their home filled with the smell of dough and quiet hope. But the trials were not over. A competitor appeared. Then came a fire. Flames nearly destroyed everything. Leo stood before the blackened walls and felt emptiness. But it was not an ending. It was another beginning. He did not wait for a miracle. He worked. And then something happened that numbers cannot explain. People came, with ingredients, with money, with hands ready to help, because effort carried through to the end always draws a response. When the bakery reopened, it became more than a place that sold bread. It became the heart of the town, a reminder that even from ashes one can rise. Leo spoke simple words that day. In life, nothing is free. Not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned. But if you don't give up, anything is possible. And they say that at night, when a light still burns in his bakery, the stars above the town shine a little brighter, as if they recognize someone who was not afraid to pay the price.